It's the very best medicine for her snow cough. I'll be damned if I'm gonna let you cast her out into the snowstorm before I have the chance to cure her. Not again! Not this time! Not when the cure is right within our grasp! I'd never be able to forgive myself.
Mr. Chuganov, stop. I can't let you do this.
Tonya.
By the sounds of it, you've known I was dead since the night before last, right? I really liked Mr. Valeri, Mr. Mitya, and Miss Vodoyanitsa. And now they're all dead because of me. I'm not happy about that. The reality is, you've been trying to fight your own demons through me. But all you've really done is trap me inside your delusion along with you.
No! Listen to me. I want to save you. I do!
Well, at this point, I'm quite sure that I'm dead. I don't need to be saved. The time I got to spend with all of you is more than enough for me. Despite all the bad things that kept happening, I got to meet so many interesting people and spend so many days and nights by your side. Since the day I escaped that hospital until now, this has been an adventure I never even dared to dream of. I'm very fond of you all. If it were only possible, I'd trade my soul to bring back the ones who died. If it meant things didn't have to end like this. And that's why I'm not fond of you at all, Mr. Chuganov.
I'm sorry.
It's them that you owe an apology to, sir. Not me. Well then, I suppose this is it. It's time for my adventure to end. I've caused enough trouble.
You're leaving already? It's still early. Don't you want to stay a little longer?
No thank you. Oh, and by the way... my name is Patashka. It was nice meeting you all. Feels strange that we're only being properly introduced now that it's time to say goodbye.
Tashka.
What are you doing, Chuganov? Are you crazy?
Let me leave. I can't keep lying to myself anymore.
In your dreams. Don't think you're getting off that easy when you had a hand in the deaths of so many people. The Fatui have honed quite an array of enhanced interrogation techniques since they were founded. Once we're out of here, Lelik will personally give you a taste of every last one. think we should leave. I doubt this snowstorm is ever going to stop. For all we know, this storm might have destroyed all of Snezhnaya by now. Maybe even the whole world.
Wait, we finally solved the mystery of the haunted theater today. Maybe let's at least try to enjoy tonight?
Fair enough. I don't particularly feel like dying in Chuganov's company anyway.
And yet you won't let me die first.
Hey, Chuganov, on a serious note, if we do make it out of here, you should close down that factory of yours. A lot of people are freezing thanks to you.
Is this really the time to be discussing my factory? All right, fine. I'll shut it down. Doesn't matter to me anymore.
Am I hearing things? Or was that a knock at the door? There it is again. But I don't understand. The snowstorm hasn't stopped, has it?
Should we open the door?
Is this it? Is this nightmare finally over? If the last few days are anything to go by, I probably shouldn't be getting my hopes up. Whatever lies beyond that door at this moment, it could be something even more terrifying than everything we've been through so far.
Hey everyone, I'm back.
How are you doing? Feeling any better?
Much better, thanks. Whew, it is so good to have you guys here. I was a little worried that the theater would be empty by the time I got back. Let me see. Tonya and Vodyanitsa are missing, which means... Vodyanitsa died last night. And then you discovered that Tonya was the other dead person. Am I right?
Not Tonya. Pitashka.
First, tell us how you made it back here. Given the conditions outside, no one should be able to return alive.
You're right. The thing that got me back safely was... a song. I heard someone singing. After walking into the snowstorm, my mind grew hazy. I don't know how long I walked through the storm before my mind completely slipped away. Then, suddenly, I heard the sound of singing. The voice instantly brought me back to my senses, and I regained consciousness. So I followed the voice, searching for the source of the singing. I searched and searched until finally, just a few moments ago, there was the entrance to the theater right in front of me.
I've actually never performed this song in the theater before, because it has more of a ceremonial purpose for our people. It's not meant for the stage. It means something like, "May those we have lost watch over us, and follow this song back home in the night, so that we might be reunited once more."
That must have been Vodyanitsa's Requiem. Who knew it actually worked?
That song is meant to guide the souls of the dead. Mitya, that must mean that you...
Huh. No kidding. Huh, seemed like I guessed right then. This is what I've been so desperate to tell you about. When I first stepped out of the theater, I was still quite lucid. My memory of it is still pretty intact. I remember the outside world being completely different than what I'd expected. It was like this was a world where only the snowstorm existed. There wasn't a trace of any humans or buildings ever having been there. I don't know how else to describe it, except to say that it just didn't seem like the real world. And as for the Requiem, if I was guided here by Vodyanitsa's song, it can only mean that I must already be dead, and this is my soul, not my body. But I didn't experience a clear moment of death while I was out there, nor do I feel any different now than before I walked into the snowstorm.
You don't seem any different to me either. In fact, this is something I've been wondering about for a while now. If souls aren't physical, shouldn't they lack tangible form? Both Shram and Patashka were clearly deceased, and yet their souls didn't look or feel like ghosts at all. They were visible, tangible, no different than you or me.
This raises a truly terrible thought. Is that really what Mitya is suggesting? Dreams can't explain everything. And this isn't the Sub-Zero's festival. Mitya said the outside is a world where only the snowstorm exists. It must be connected to the ley lines, so going out there will only take us further away from the real world. The Requiem calls to the souls of the dead. This is proof that Mitya is dead and has not been resurrected. Mitya's soul was summoned back by the Requiem, confirming that he is indeed already dead. And yet, he looks no different from us. Of course. If even the long-deceased like Mr. Shram can blend in with us undetected, then maybe we've all been dead from the very start. And all of us are now souls wandering the theater.
Yes. I think that this is Probably the afterlife.
What did you say?
You heard me. We died in the theater. All of us did. But due to an obstruction in the theater's ley lines, our souls are trapped here, while an endless, infinite snowstorm rages outside. It's ironic, really. All that time, we were working so hard to figure out who the deceased among us were, when the truth was, we were all deceased. The only difference being some of us died more recently than others. Do you remember that note, "Death is near"? Seems like we misunderstood what it meant after all. Death was nearer than we wanted to think all along. The note simply meant that all of us were already dead.
So all our attempts to survive, our search for the deceased, it was all for nothing?
Hard to say. At the very least, we helped 2 lost souls find clarity and go to where they belong. The presence of those 2 is probably what caused our souls to be drawn in by the ley lines. In which case, the deaths we've awoken to over the past few days were just souls returning to the ley lines for good.
If what you're saying is true, doesn't that make us the lost souls now? Huh, no wonder. This afternoon, when I was moving Vodyanitsa's body, I noticed that the other bodies in the room hadn't decayed one bit after all these days.
That's further proof that those aren't physical bodies at all, but merely our shells here in the afterlife.
Am I really dead? This doesn't feel real to me at all. No, that's impossible. This cannot be how it all ends.
I still find it hard to believe that all of us are dead. How exactly did we die in the real world? None of us have any memories of dying, right?
Not even knowing how we died is preposterous. Good grief! Surely there has to be some reason.
Exactly. It's hard to rest in peace when you don't even know how you died. It gave me lots to think about as I strode out into the snowstorm. I racked my brains trying to remember the cause of my death, the exact moment I died, the root of all of this, right up until my consciousness faded. Wait. Hold on. Right before I lost consciousness, I think I saw something. I can't remember. And I think I lost my notebook and pen.
Mitya, your hand. Is that blood on your fingers?
Huh? You're right. There's blood on the fingertips of my right hand. Looks like it's already dried. When did that happen? What the? I guess this was what I saw. I must have desperately drawn it in my own blood right before losing consciousness. What's wrong? Do you recognize the symbol?
It's Renova, the ruler of death. Alosha, do you still remember that Snezhnayan folktale you told me about? It was about the Grim Reaper. When someone's about to die, he appears as an incarnation of someone familiar to guide their soul into the afterlife. And as soon as you recognize his face, your life is over.
I heard a similar tale when I was little. You think the Grim Reaper in this story refers to the ruler of death you mentioned?
That's right, in which case, death is near could also mean that the Grim Reaper is here disguised in a familiar form.
Death, the deceased, and the Grim Reaper? So it's a triple entendre. When I first saw this note, I thought it contradicted the investigation report. But now it seems like that was the whole intention.
So the Grim Reaper deliberately misled us. Then, we started suspecting each other and searched for the deceased while they hid in plain sight.
By that logic, the one person most likely to be the Grim Reaper incarnate is... Identifying the Grim Reaper is a major decision to make. I should think it over carefully. Identifying the Grim Reaper is a major decision to make. I should think it over carefully. Identifying the Grim Reaper is a major decision to make. I should think it over carefully. No doubt about it. It's Alosha. Looking back at how everyone has acted over the past few days, Alosha is most likely the Grim Reaper lurking among us. Is it you, Alosha? You were the first to discover the investigation report, and you had plenty of time to slip the note inside to mislead us.
So? Surely you can't suspect me based on that alone. What if someone else found the investigation report first, slipped the note inside, and then put it back without telling anyone?
There's no denying it. The note could easily have been slipped in much earlier than it was discovered.
That's not all. I've also noticed that although on the surface, Valeri, Mitya, and sometimes I were the ones taking charge of the situation. Looking back now, even though you didn't say much, you were always subtly guiding everyone from the sidelines.
What do you mean?
You were the one who emphasized how dangerous it was outside and insisted we all stay here. It was also you who suggested that we all sleep in the same place. And earlier today, you tried to convince Patashka to stay. I don't understand why, but it was out of character.
So, you didn't understand my intentions, and now you're assuming the worst. Seems pretty unreasonable if you ask me.
He still won't admit it. Fine. Let's see how he responds to the most damning evidence of all.
The biggest question I have right now is, if the Grim Reaper is impersonating Alosha, then where's the real Alosha? When did they switch?
No. The Ruler of Death would have needed to control how everything unfolded from the start. She wouldn't have infiltrated our ranks this late. Let me think about this again. No, the Ruler of Death added a note to the investigation report at the time. This indicates that Alosha had been switched out even earlier than that. That's right. This was the moment. Right at the start. Before any victims had even emerged, Alosha was switched with the Ruler of Death while everyone's guard was still down. When all this began, right after the performance ended and the snowstorm began to pick up, no one suspected anything unusual. We just assumed we were snowed in. It wasn't until we discovered the bodies the morning after that we realized something out of the ordinary was going on. But it's clear now that the oddities actually started earlier than that, when Dimov walked into the snowstorm and never came back.
Right. So Mr. Dimov was the first victim, not Sobolova and Torgov.
And if we pinpoint that moment as the beginning of this incident, then one thing becomes clear. Alosha, you are the only person who walked into the snowstorm and came back without the help of Vodyanitsa's Requiem.
More precisely, Alosha never came back at all. The one who came back was the Grim Reaper.
Not bad. Well, since you've backed me into a corner, I suppose there's no point in keeping up the act anymore.
Alosha?
You're the Grim Reaper?
I am no such tired cliché. Mortals should address me as the Ruler of Death.